What you're hearing in the background is sounds from the universe, our solar system. There we are. That's Neptune. Welcome to today's episode of the Exponential Files. I'm Larry Lawfer, your co host with Jim Lowenstern each week, and we bring you a rock star in the industry. Do you hate that phrase, rock star? We are not rock stars, but we're really good at what we do. Jennifer Ferrara. Welcome, Jennifer. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, the rock star thing, you hear it all the time, right?
But
Everywhere.
I was a commercial photographer and shot rock stars. They have a whole different lifestyle than we do. Uh,
Yeah, that's for sure.
Even the good ones, even the successful ones. And Jim is a former musician. Probably still play a little bit, don't you, Jim?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Every
So
chance.
the the exponential files is, was that me or who was that whose email
Uh,
just dinged?
It
no, it
may,
wasn't.
may
Oh,
have
No,
been.
it could have been my
oh,
laptop. Who knows?
anyway. Uh, Wait a minute. I don't want to do that.
It's probably you.
It's always me. It's always me. The Exponential Files is a weekly 30-minute show where we bring to you some of the EXP realty agents from around the country and around the world, sharing with them some of their expertise and including their luxury properties. Jennifer has a luxury property in New Jersey. It's something like 9,000 square feet, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Do you,
It's
do you,
almost 9,000 square feet. It's gorgeous. It's huge.
Can you share it with us?
Yeah, definitely. I can pull up some pictures for you guys right now. I'm just going to
Yeah,
share my screen. Just let me know that you can see this, and I'll go ahead and do that.
there we go. It looks beautiful. Oh, and you
Let
bring it up on Zillow.
me-
We're gonna get calls on that.
Yeah, just so it's a little bit easier for everybody to
Yeah,
see. Yeah, it's definitely on Zillow. So this is in Paramus, which is a really great area. And, New Jersey has high taxes. However, Paramus is the one thing about it, lower taxes than most of the state. So, that's something to be said. So as you can see, the front of the house, it's very, very beautiful. And
and
as
that
you enter,
look at
you
that
know,
staircase.
there's a marble entryway, there's the iron wrought um, staircase. It's very, very beautiful. Now, this is 6 bedrooms and 7 baths. Each bedroom has its own bathroom. This bedroom right here is actually a guest suite, which is on the first floor and has its own full bath. So it's very convenient if you have family over, or maybe you have an in-law or a family member that needs to stay with you. That's a really great bonus because a lot of people are looking for, in-law suites and guest suites at times. So it's
Exactly.
a it's a fabulous house. It's absolutely stunning.
That
What's the
is
price?
2.9.
million. For those of you wondering, 2.9 million, and
Yes.
that is a good price in that area. Is it correctly priced? That
Yes.
of course it is. You put it
Mhm.
on the market. How
And it's 10 minutes from New York City, so it's really convenient for people that work in the city. And we all know how expensive New York can be. So being 10 minutes from New York, around tons of shopping and having a beautiful home and still having a yard, right? So you get the closeness of the city, a nice yard, and it's just great because you can just zip right into New York if you work there, if you just want to go out to eat, if you want to do, whatever. But even if you didn't, Paramus is great because there's so much shopping. There's basically everything you need in Paramus, right? You're close to every major highway. Beautiful catwalk above the living room. They have upgraded their light fixtures, which you can see the chandeliers are gorgeous. The kitchen.
is this
There's,
one of the
So,
higher priced properties in Paramus?
yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
There's radiant heating throughout the entire home. So upstairs, downstairs, everything, which we'll get to in a second. The downstairs is absolutely stunning. There is a salon, there's a soundproof theater. It's fabulous. You basically never have to leave, but if you want to, you definitely can, and you're very close to the city, which is excellent.
People who own houses like this often own another house that's wonderful in, their ski place or their beach place.
Right, exactly. And that's probably the person that's looking for this home. Maybe they would like a house that's close to the city, or they need something that's big enough to have family members over. There's so many different situations, but it's a great fit for a lot of people that have, the need to be near the city and near everything. I mean, the Mecca is New York, right? So these are just some of the bathrooms corresponding with the bedrooms. Like I said, each bedroom has their own bathroom, which is great feature. I mean, imagine I said, wow, it must be great to grow up as a kid and have your own bathroom, right? So that's a plus for sure. Just going to scroll along a little bit. Yeah, did you have a question?
No,
So when
I
you
was.
said a salon, you meant it literally has a hair salon. I was
Yeah,
thinking,
that's how I
a salon could be like a conservatory or, just another, sitting area. You got a hair salon at the house. That's cool.
Right. So there's really a hair salon. So if you need to go to an event in the city, this is what the homeowner was saying, sometimes they have events and his wife needs to get her hair and makeup done. Well, the person comes to them. They don't even have to leave their house. So it's all right here for you. It's really
I need that.
everything. Now, yeah, the lower level is just exceptional because I love this. You have your own salon. You could have people come in, do your hair, do your makeup, do all of your friends' hair and makeup because of the amount of seating. The closet is
What's the
stunning.
deal with the closet? There's furniture in it.
Lights.
Dream closet, at least to me, this is a dream closet. Look,
Is it a room or a closet?
much. I mean, you could make this into a room and then it would be 7 bedrooms
Or
because there is a window.
there's a coffee table in the
Yeah,
closet with
hang,
chairs
hang out in the closet. It
and a
really
clock.
reminds me,
Oh, and a window. It's a
right.
room.
Yes, correct. It really reminds me of when you're going to Nordstrom's or Saks and look, there's a little pedestal. You
That is awesome.
stand up
Holy
there. It's
wow.
custom built. So you have basically a whole room for your shoes in the closet. You have a whole room for the closet.
So how many square feet is that closet? It's a room. It's not a closet. It's
Yeah,
just closet stuff in the room.
right. It's insane. There's still 6 bedrooms, but you could make this a 7th if you wanted to, right?
Now, how long has this been on the market? Let's talk about the market a little bit too. You
Yeah,
got
it's only been up almost 2 weeks, so
oh, okay.
it just went up, and yeah, it's a
And what's going on in the basement? What are those red things or what? Oh, that's seating for like
A
a
game.
car
Those
race
are
game or
games.
something.
Yeah, those are
So
games.
there's a game room.
so yeah, game rooms if you have kids, if you just want to hang out with family down there, there's a game room. There's also a place if you want to work out over to the right. And then also down in the basement is that theater I was speaking of.
Yeah.
And they said it was great for, speaking of sports again, Super Bowl parties, especially if you love those Giants, especially in Paramus. They said they had a huge Super Bowl party one year and it was completely soundproof and they were just having a great time with friends and family. So it's awesome.
That's a sore subject here because the team they beat was the Patriots.
Right, you're right. I think you are correct.
Yes. So, hey, move on.
Yeah, we'll move on from that. So, there's also another room. This is in the basement where he uses this as an office. But again, you probably could make this into whatever you really would want to make it into, whether it's a private office or since there is a window, it technically could be another room as well. But right now it is in office. So as you can see, there's a lot to offer in this home. You practically never have to leave, but if you do want to leave, you're near everything. So it's a
So how
fantastic.
do you get into New York? Which bridge or tunnel?
You really could take, any way you want. You could take the George Washington over if
Okay.
you want. just zip right in. Really anywhere. There's so many highways and so many different routes you can take when you're in North
So
Jersey.
what are the tunnels? I grew up on the island. I'm on the other side.
Oh,
So
okay.
are there tunnels to New
Yeah,
Jersey?
Lincoln. Yep. So if you're coming from the south, I'm always taking the Lincoln Tunnel in.
Lincoln Tunnel, okay.
Yep. And you could take the George Washington. Those are pretty the two most common that you would
And the
take.
taxes are low because, I mean, the only thing I knew about Paramus growing up, I'd hear the, ads on the radio, whatever it was. And we're at the Paramus Mall, right?
The shopping, right?
It's the mall, yeah.
Yep, it's the mall. The school districts are great. They're fantastic. You could look that up on your own and just see, but there's excellent shopping. And yeah, compared to a lot of New Jersey, I'm sure you guys know up in Massachusetts as well, you have high taxes, but they're lower in Paramus for whatever reason. So it's great, especially if you
It's
want
all the commercial development, probably.
yeah, think of
It's
all those
possibly.
malls.
Yeah, it's
Think of
very
all
possible.
that going on. And it's great. It's
So
fantastic.
this is under 3 million. What do you get in Manhattan for 3 million? I mean,
Two
I'm not
bedroom.
going to joke and say a studio, but it
Yeah, I was gonna say,
probably
yeah,
probably
probably are. Yeah,
probably a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, right?
That's what I said, a 2 bedroom.
Yeah.
And you won't
exactly.
have the space.
No, and you're not going to have the yard. You're not going to have how many car garages? It's 2 or 3.
It's a 2-car garage.
Okay.
There it is. On the side there. Oh no,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, that's a
Yep,
garage.
right
yeah,
here,
there it
there's
is.
the garage.
Okay,
There are
so
a couple of the
so
rooms that aren't shown, but it's huge.
and then the outdoor space has some kind of canopy over something. Oh, there I see it on the other.
Yeah, there's a little pergola. There's a little outdoor area that you definitely could decorate. Honestly, if you wanted to put in a pool, there's still enough room. You really could maximize this and maximize your investment by just adding a few touches, because this is an area where a lot of things don't go up for sale that often. Even right now, things are coming to market a little bit more. However, you don't find this every day. So
And
it's
is that a wooded area behind it?
yes, correct.
Nice.
So
Okay.
let's
That's
go away
private.
from the share screen. I'm a little concerned that
Okay.
it's not getting all the way through to our video. So you can just unshare your
Just
screen.
1 second. I gotta find my wherever my screen went. Sorry, guys.
And how large is the lot? And then we'll move on to
It's a half acre, so it's about half acre.
Okay.
Let me just I can't find my screen now.
It's always
I don't know where it oh, there we go.
yeah.
Well, Larry,
I'm-
Larry, you could probably unshare also.
Can I do that?
You'll probably do it on your end. So how many years have you been in the business, Jennifer?
So I'm actually fairly newer in the business, and I've come on my first full year, but I've taken 11 listings.
Mhm.
And so far 7 of which have sold, and that's just by, can you guys see me now?
No, because you haven't really unshared. You have to hit the unshare. And I can't do it from my side here. I can't see it.
That's weird.
And I can't get to the part where I take you out of the co-host. So
It's going to be at the bottom.
there we go.
You share, and I only see share. I don't know, guys.
We're looking at your screen. There we go.
So back to what I was saying. Yeah, this has actually been, I was a teacher for 10 years, and I've been in the business for a year. I've taken 11 listings, maybe 12, 6 of which have sold, and that's all just by outbound lead generating. I just picked up the phone day one and decided I'm going to be a listing agent, and that's it. I have 2 homes of my own. My husband owns he's a surgeon. He has his own building. So I knew about real estate. I've done transactions before, and even in a hot seller's market, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make calls. My first was for sale by owner, expired, focused on that. And I haven't worked with a ton of buyers, to be honest, because I've just listed since day one.
That's a good place to be. You want to list to last.
And you started at eXp, I'm guessing.
No.
No, believe it or not, I actually started at a different brokerage and I got my first listing for sale by owner. It was a great house. It's like 820. Got it sold. I was like, okay, I get this. And the person that I was working with, I had a great coach. He was telling me to just pick up the phone, pick up the phone. Meanwhile, where I was, they're like, work with buyers, work with buyers. I'm like, why would I do that when I could just make phone calls? And he's like, you're doing a great job listening to me. Come over to eXp. I'll continue to coach you. And I trusted my gut. I trusted that I knew what I was doing, and I just went. You know, a lot of people said like it could be risky being on your own, not being on a team. But if you just put in the work and you just make sure that you're always learning and always moving forward, you really won't have a problem.
Another Keller Williams migration over. And her coach is one of the people we've had on our show.
So the KW people were saying work with buyers in a seller's market.
Right. And being brand new, I was kind of like, huh, I don't want to do that.
That's
Like,
really bad advice.
yeah. And I get, I see how this business is even only a year in. Like, not everyone's going to make it. Not everyone's going to last. Not everyone has like that strong personality where they don't need their hand held. So I understand why, but they don't realize maybe like 1% is like, I can handle this. Let's go. I'll pick up the phone. I know how I own 2 homes. Like, I know what I'm
Okay.
doing.
So then you are a rock star. Okay. You get it.
I mean,
Definitely
yeah,
an
I'm
entrepreneur.
learning. I'm always learning, but
Right.
you
And
got to move.
that
No,
comes back.
because you listen, I've been doing this for a while, 40 times the 1 year you've been in it. I've recruited and coached and trained and managed hundreds, if not thousands of agents at this point. So you really are, you're 1 in 100 anyway,
You're kicking it. And that's a great thing.
that's very rare to hear those kind of stats out of someone that just stepped into the industry.
Always trying. So I appreciate
Bravo.
that, you know.
And we're glad that you found your way to, I mean, you're not an icon agent quite yet, right? Or you're getting
You
close.
can't be in your first year. Don't you have to do 3 years before you're an icon?
I think you can be
Right away.
I'm not yet. You know, some of those transactions also have to close, but it's you learn as you go.
I predict in the next 2 years you'll definitely be an icon.
I hope so. Good thing this is recorded because I want to look back and be like, oh wow, I didn't think that could happen. But you just gotta keep working, right?
Yeah, and I'll give you some tools and some training, some mentoring, coaching, whatever.
Because you're part of the Castle's Luxury Mastermind group.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
That would be great. Awesome.
Yeah. So what's the game plan from here? Are you planning to grow a team? Are you well aware of the eXp agent attraction benefits and all that?
Yeah, definitely. And I kind of like to handle things one thing at a time. And I know I have to get better at kind of just multitasking and moving forward because it's a lot, right? To take in. You learn your contracts, you learn how to do everything, you learn your sales skills, you learn, all right, I got this done, and then you can handle more on your plate. So yeah, eventually I would like to have some buyer's agents on my team and really grow a team. But for now, I've been pretty good handling things on my own. But yeah, that would definitely be a goal I'm looking forward to for sure.
Jim has a book that he just published. And I always get the title wrong. Your $1,000,000 Month in Real Estate. Is that the correct title?
Yeah.
So,
it's the middle of the trilogy.
Oh,
yeah.
And I'm writing the third book now.
And it goes through all of these steps. His first book, Your $1,000,000 Year,
in real estate.
it came out before Gary Keller's book.
No, it came out about 6-7 years ago. Keller was ahead of me by a while. I mean, he's written a lot of books.
He has written a lot of books.
Or his team has written it. I mean, I sit there, I bang this out myself. I just have to say, although my first book I did have like a team of editors because it drove me crazy trying to do it myself. The second book, I got to say, being with EXP was not what I expected. And the reason I had to write the first book was because people were listening to what I had to say, and they said, oh, these are good ideas, but I can't follow everything, so you have to write it down. I didn't intend to write a book, but it just became a book. The second book, there was no, I literally had agents on my own team who said, okay, Jim, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to tell me everything I need to know about EXP. And that's impossible.
Yeah.
So I kind of wrote the book about EXP. And the next book I think is going to have to be about EXP too, because after you join, what else is there?
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I really, really love it. And it's definitely for me. Now, I don't know how I hear it's not for everyone, but I don't really know how because
You
This
know
industry
something?
isn't for everyone.
You know,
hey, that's
you-
true. That's true.
so here's my take on that thought. It's not for everyone. Well, first of all, I ask you, Jennifer, so how long have you been with EXP?
Since January.
Okay. Why wouldn't it be for everyone? Let's say, why wouldn't it be for everyone who's in the real estate business, being a broker? You think of any good reason? Because they like to sit at the desk.
If you need your hand held, and you are newer, that's why. That's pretty much it. If you are on your own and you're doing great and you know what you're doing, you're fine. It's not about the brokerage. I remember saying when I was leaving, I was like, they're like, this is a big mistake. I knew they were going to say that. Like, it's not, when I walk into a listing appointment, it's not about if I'm at Remax or EXP or,
Exactly.
it's me. I walk in the room, they're signing with me. And
Exactly.
then once that I heard that, I was like, watch, now I'm going to get a million listings because I'm that type of personality where you tell me I can't do anything. Now it's just going to get posted and everyone's going to see it over and over again on my Facebook, on everything, because it's you. And I wish more people would just have confidence and realize that it's all about confidence. Yeah, you need to know what you're doing.
They're not hiring any company, they're hiring you.
They're hiring the
Always.
person that's going to, help them whatever their needs
This is why it's for everyone. It's for everyone because, and the hand holding or whatever, we have that too, because you've got your sponsor and your sponsor has a sponsor and so on. I mean, in my upline, I call them my leadership team. Janie Coffey just happened to be coming back from her vacation. She went to Europe for a month and she was flying through Boston. It's taken a couple of days. She met with me and she met with my sponsor. Actually, she's upstairs waiting for me so we can have lunch or something after this.
Janie is?
Janie is actually in the office. Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
And we just had, there's an agent who's probably coming on Tuesday from Remax, and he was here. And I had Stacy on a Zoom call to start it. So it was like a colliding of worlds.
Yeah.
But here it is that we're hand holding. Stacy's in South Dakota. Janie's in Florida.
Or Germany.
Or Germany. And so it's an abundance of hand holding. It's like I'm there. I mean, Jennifer, we're kind of meeting for the first time, but I'm telling you right now, you ever want to reach out, just, right through Workplace. I don't care. Text
and that's
me.
great. I love that too. Yeah, I've met so many great people just being in here in Workplace. That's another thing. It's so amazing.
So it's all the talent that had always been in the industry. And we had Jason Gessing, the president, on about a month ago. And I asked him, what do you think EXP is? Is it a tech platform? Is it a business model? Is it a new paradigm? Or is it like a labor movement within the real estate industry where all these talented agents are definitely going to be ending up here because they'll take a look at that icon program and go, whoa. And I use this stat, Stacy gave it to me a few weeks ago, and I can't get it out of my head. $622,000. What is that? Icon agents that were with EXP between 2018 and it was like June or July of 21 got $622,000 of stock awarded to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's mind-blowing
Yeah.
that they built this business model that creates this kind of wealth. And that's passive. That's like you're doing your job, and then on top of everything, here's this money. And we're not even talking about revenue share and stuff like that, because,
As I remember, Jason dodged that question.
The
well,
revenue shares is, EXP is newer. So if you're not jumping on and jumping in, I don't know, there's other companies that do it, but you're not going to make any money at this point. It's too old. It's old. It's already done, right? Let's jump on what
Jason
you're saying.
didn't dodge that question. The question he dodged, and it was because it was just literally days before the Q2 earnings report was coming out. I said to him, we're attracting about 1,000 agents a month. He couldn't respond to that, right? Because agents come, agents go. He didn't want to get into the weeds
That's
with
not his
a
area
number like.
anyway.
What's that?
That's not his area anyway.
Yeah, he could have probably just said approximately, but you're right. We're still growing. He could have sidestepped it, but I know he was probably, because all the numbers were really good, but he didn't want to. It was live, so he didn't want people going. And look, the stock after that show had a mad tear for about a month upward, right? So he didn't want anyone to come back and say, well, you kind of let, people know, and that's why there was the stock went up like 30-40% in 3 weeks.
And yeah, the stock, that's another thing. I have been so busy, I haven't even checked until the other day. And I was like, oh my God, like I have all this in my account. Like it's crazy, right? Just from closing deals. Like,
Right.
wow, it's great.
Wow. Well, and Keller, it was you could donate part of your commission to um, KW Cares, which went to agents that had difficulties or fire, floods, things like that. This, you're buying your own stock at a reduced rate, and so if I make more money myself, then I have more money to give away to people that I know or groups in my local area. So it makes you an entrepreneur who's in charge of your entire business. And you have EXP as a foundation behind you, but you're really driving your own businesses here.
Right. And think of it, this is a luxury property, right? A lot of people would say, oh, you got to be with so and so to get those type. No, you don't. You just need to you just need to have sales skills. And
Well, this is where I stick in the little shameless plug for the Castles brand that we're rolling out on the EXP platform to compete against, and I'll name them, let's face it, Compass, Christie's, Sotheby's, Coldwell Banker, Berkshire Hathaway, Remax Luxury, Keller Williams Luxury, Stick Luxury after ERA even, um, and we're going to dominate. We're going
yeah,
to dominate
absolutely. I
because the
mean,
agents are going to make so much money. They're going to say, "Why wouldn't I?" Right?
yeah, it's true. If you're running your real estate, right, your business as a business, the numbers make sense.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I first was introduced when there was 300 agents and the stock was 19 cents a share, and I didn't see it because how can you predict the future? But the future's here.
The
Yeah,
future is here. So you have a secret skill, I think. I always talk about real estate agents come to the industry. It isn't for everyone. And you're talking about your high D personality where you're out there and talking to people. You don't necessarily have to be a high D person to be successful, but you have to be able to communicate to the people and educate people. And your high D-ness allows you to get over the rejection that we get on a daily basis, the bad things that people say, and you just kind of can move on from that. So, but I think your special skill is having been a teacher for 10 years and then you've come into this industry and you have an ability to help people through the complicated process by breaking it down for them.
yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that is very important, on a listing appointment, breaking down certain stats, certain things that are going on in the area, and showing that to your potential client, right? Otherwise, they're not going to see what you're talking about when you're giving them a range in price. And that's a huge deal, right? When you're going on a listing appointment. Now, I haven't worked with many buyers. However, it would be the same way. It would be, holding their hand and walking them through the little things. You really got to break that stuff down, because a
You
lot
do.
of people haven't purchased multiple homes, right?
Right.
And even if they have, sometimes they just want to know that the person is on their A game and they're knowledgeable and they know their stuff, right? Not everyone's going in there with stats and showing them, days on market and how it's changed over the past 3 months. And when you do that, you're really going to set yourself apart. So most people think all agents are the same, but when you walk in there with that knowledge and you're teaching them something and bringing value, that's how you're going to set yourself apart. And I kind of learned that really quickly. And once I did, I was like, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been wonderful to have you on the show this week, Jennifer.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Well, I hope somebody other than me is listening to our closeout music, because we're coming back from being out in the universe. Thank you so much for
And the
listening to
reason
another
why
episode.
the reason why we're using that music now, we're calling it the music of the universe, is because from like the X Files, now it's the Exponential Files. And it was like eerie music,
It is.
and it's kind of cool.
It
I
is.
hope we're listening to it. Otherwise, next week I'm just going to play it off my phone.
Okay. Okay. Thanks so much, Jennifer. Have a great
Thank you,
holiday
Jennifer.
weekend.
Great
We'll
meeting you.
Enjoy.
Recording stopped.